Most people spend 30 years building a pile of money for retirement. Then they get there, they look at that pile, and they have no idea how to turn it into a paycheck. Nobody ever taught them that part. But today, I will walk you through exactly how I build a retirement income machine. That's today's topic on the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show.
It's the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show.
Howdy neighbor, I'm Michael Andrews with Andrews Insurance and Advisory, and you are listening to the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show, where we tackle real-life questions about retirement, Medicare, and Social Security every week. Today is another full-blown Michaelatorial, and it's going to be on structuring your investments to actually produce income once you decide to stop working. And before we get into it, I just want to say this. Yes, we are taking new clients. We're taking new clients right now. So if any of this sounds like your situation, any of this sounds like something that you would be interested in, reach out to us, and I will be sure to tell you how to do that at the end of the episode. So this is what I see over and over again. Somebody has done everything right. They've got a 401k from a job. They've got an old IRA from another, maybe an annuity, a little bit of cash in the bank. But that money is scattered across 5 different places, and not one of those accounts was ever given a job to do. Then retirement shows up, and the question changes completely. It's no longer how much can I save, it is how much can I safely take out, and where does the money come from each month? So we've got a multi-step process that we try to run through with people. The first step, before we talk about a single investment, is we need to have one general in charge of the portfolio. I see people with an advisor here, somebody at the bank there, a 401k that nobody has touched in 11 years, and a brother-in-law that's got a bunch of opinions. Everybody's rowing, but nobody's steering, and you cannot build a coordinated income plan out of 4 disconnected pieces. The second step, your budget. What does it cost for you to live? Not a guess, but an actual number. We've got a tool on our website that you can use, or you can use a legal pad if you'd rather. It doesn't really matter. We just need you to get there. I care that you get there because everything after this depends on that monthly budget. Third step, we got to add up that guaranteed income, Social Security, pension, and annuity, then subtract it from your budget. Whatever is left is your gap, and that gap is the only number that your portfolio actually has to solve for. Before we move to the next step, do you know your number? Not roughly, but do you know the actual monthly gap between your guaranteed income and what your life cost? If you can't say it out loud, then that's the first thing that you need to fix once you start going into retirement. The next step, we got to figure out if that gap is realistic. If you need 10% a year out of your 401k to cover it, I'm going to be honest with you, you don't have a plan. You've got a countdown to when you're going to be completely out of money. Generally speaking, 4 to 5% is a reasonable range. 6 can work depending on your age and other income. Under 4, in normal conditions, you're usually in good shape. But we need to know that going in. We don't need to know what that percentage is going to be 3 years into the retirement process. All right, so let's say that number works. Now we build the machine. Longtime listeners have heard me talk about buckets, and here's the more detailed version. Bucket 1 is going to be cash, 1 to 2 years of your income gap in a money market account, not checking, earning nothing. A money market where it still earns interest, is protected from market volatility, and it's still highly liquid. Bucket number 2 is fixed income, another 3 to 5 years of that gap. These are going to be things like treasury bonds, TIPS, which pay interest and adjust for inflation over time, or a target maturity bond ETF. They carry a little bit more risk, but they can get you a little bit more yield. Add it up, 2 years in cash and let's say 4 years in fixed income, and then you're sitting there with 6 years of income completely protected no matter what the stock market is doing. If the market dropped 25% next month, how many years of income do you have that would help you weather that storm? If the answer is none, then your portfolio is built for the saving years, but it is definitely not built for the spending years. And that 6 years is exactly what frees up bucket number 3. Because cash and fixed income are covered, the rest can be invested for real long-term growth. That bucket isn't paying your bills this year. Its job is to keep up with inflation and refill the first 2 buckets over time. So here's how the machine works. Every year, we look at what the market did. A positive year, we sell some of the growth bucket and buy more fixed income. Maybe another TIP, another treasury, another target maturity ETF. When one of those bonds matures, that money moves into cash. Flat year, we may leave growth alone, and then in a bad year or a bad stretch of years, that's when we lean on the 6 years of protected money and let the market have enough time to recover. You're never forced to sell a growth investment at a loss just to pay the light bill. That one decision is the difference between riding out a downturn and being permanently damaged by one. You still get growth, you're just insulated in a way that most people aren't. So today we covered getting one general in charge of your portfolio and building a real budget, finding the gap that your investments have to fill, and then building the machine. 1 to 2 years in cash, 3 to 5 years in fixed income, the rest invested for growth. The takeaway is simple. A pile of money is not a retirement plan. A pile of money with a job assigned to every dollar, that is a retirement plan. And that is exactly why I built the Retirement Income Blueprint. It's a look at 5 things: your real monthly budget, your guaranteed income and the gap that it leaves, whether your withdrawal rate is sustainable, how many years of protected income that you have today, and how your accounts would need to be restructured across cash, fixed income, and growth. You leave knowing where every retirement paycheck is going to be coming from. So, if you've got a question that you'd like for me to tackle on the show, shoot me an email at michael@andrewsadv.com. I read every one of them, and I just might answer yours on a future episode. You've worked hard to build your retirement, and you don't have to make these decisions alone. If you want that retirement income blueprint, I'm here to help. It doesn't cost anything for me to take a look, but not letting me, that could cost you thousands. So if you're ready to take this relationship to the next level, call or text me at 918-842-7379 or schedule a time on my calendar at andrewsadv.com. And whether you're listening on the radio, YouTube, or Facebook, make sure that you subscribe and follow the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show so you don't miss next week's episode. If this helped, give it a like, share it with a friend who could use some good neighborly retirement advice. Thanks again for being with us, and we'll see you next week right here on the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show. Thanks.
It's the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show, helping you plan so your money will grow.